we value the plug. Like you was bringing it in, we can get it at a good number. We value the relationship. Not only am I going to give you your money, get you your money, I'm gonna get it on time, I'm gonna get it early, and I'm like, we're gonna keep this thing going so we can continue to build. So I'm long term. Like I may even pay more now because I know after I develop the relationship and I show you I can make some things shake, I can get a better number eventually. So it's the same thing. It's like I'm a long term guy. I'm like, hey. People are like, why you give away so much free content? Well, I'm a long-term guy.
This can't be it. There has to be more. Wait, am I crazy? No. If you're yearning for more and working hard to make your dreams a reality, then you're in the right place. Welcome to Dream Catchers. It's the only show committed to helping you self-actualize and then transcend, leaving you with the legacy you've always desired. Listen in on conversations with successful philanthropists, entrepreneurs, and founders every week as we connect with them for inspiration, education, and direction. Your host, Jerome Myers, is here to help you exit the matrix and transform into a leader of your own revolution. The question is, do you believe your dreams should be real?
Hey, everybody, and welcome to the Dream Catchers podcast. I'm your host, Jerome. You guys are in for the treat. Met my man out in Austin, been following him for a couple of years. And I was like, man, I've been trying to get to you. He's like, man, it's hard to get to me. So we chopped it up for a little bit on the break, and he was kind enough to come on the podcast with me. So with that said, Marquel Russell is in the building, the king of client attraction, ladies and gentlemen. Marquel, how are you, brother?
Hey, man, I'm outstanding, bro. Life is good, bro. I have zero complaints at all, man. Zero.
Man, I don't know how long ago it was, but I feel like I saw you on a plane or on a resort. The travel's been kind of crazy for you lately.
Yeah, travel's been
start out that way. It didn't start that way.
No. It didn't start that way. I flew on an airplane for the first time, I think when I was 25, 26 years old. And I was in network marketing. So that was my first time flying on a plane. So it was new to me. I think when I flew on that plane, I was like sharing a room with somebody. I think I slept on the floor. But yeah, it 100%, didn't start that way for sure. Now it's like I had to like taper it out. It's like and not travel, as much because it's like demand is so crazy. People want you here, people want you there. So I'm kind of at a phase where I'm like, all right, I can't do that, can't do this. I'm doing it. You know what I'm saying? And it's still crazy even with doing that. So I'm kind of getting through it. I'm trying to figure out like a happy medium, to be honest with you.
Okay. So the listeners heard me drop in the king of client attraction, and they're probably asking questions, bro. What does that mean? What is the king of client attraction?
For sure. So so based on my research and from working with like thousands of clients and doing I'm like an entrepreneur supremacist. Like I love entrepreneurship. And what I found is that the number one issue with entrepreneurs isn't the lack of ideas or the lack of great products. It's the lack of being able to actually get clients. So it doesn't matter how great you are at what you do if nobody knows who you are. So one of the things that I obsessed myself with over the past 10 to 12 years, specifically in the direct response marketing space, before I even came into this world of legitimate entrepreneurship, I was still doing marketing, but just marketing different products, so to speak, right? So what I found is like people couldn't get in front of people. So a lot of times people are always like, well, how do I find people to buy from me? And I always tell them like, that's the wrong question. You actually don't want to have to find people because now you're the hunter. You actually want to be the hunted and you want to become findable so people can actually find you to actually buy what you have because they already have the desire for what you offer. So like I said, I've obsessed myself in becoming world-class and the best in the world when it comes to helping individuals who have amazing services, coaches, consultants, high-ticket service providers, and attracting their ideal clients. And we've helped our clients do over $1 billion in revenue. And in our space, nobody has more clients than us. More client success stories than us. White. Some people are like, well, you're in the black space. No, not just black people who do what I do. White, black, Asian, pound for pound. Nobody has more clients than us, no more client success than us. I even put out one day and I was like, hey, who wants to do a versus? And we go client success story for client success story. and there were no takers.
Talk
So
that
nobody,
talk, man.
yeah, nobody can compete. Like it's the receipts for me, bro. Like one of my homies, he posted the other day. He has a big podcast. My guy David
Man.
Shan, shout out to David Shan on the
Yeah.
Social Proof podcast, and he was like, "Hey, man, I gotta make one of the hardest decisions in the world." He was like, "I gotta pick 6 entrepreneurs out of all my amazing entrepreneurial friends to do this episode with me." And he was like, "Who do y'all think I should get, or how should I choose?" And I was just like, "Hey, bro, choose based on receipts." And he was like, "So receipts better than over popularity?" I was like, 100%. Anybody can engineer popularity, but you can't fake receipts. Anybody can go get a Lambo. Anybody can go get a mansion for Airbnb or get a Lambo for the weekend or, whatever the case may be. But it's like, you can't fake real success stories. You know what I'm saying? So nobody has beat, and it's only one number one. It's only one king. So, I mean, I took the throne. I earned the throne and then accepted it.
Man. Okay. So he talking that talk. He said a B, y'all.
Yeah, for sure.
How do you keep track of that? How to $1 billion in sales in coaching and consulting? We're not talking construction. We're not talking real estate. We're talking people selling info, education.
Yeah, for sure. So, and also this year, our company is we also on the Inc. 5000's fastest growing companies list as well. And the reason we were able to do that because of client success. Now, here's the crazy thing. All of our, now, when it comes to the billion, that's in more like verifiable results. We got some clients who go off and make millions, but they never give us the numbers, right? I got one client, a good friend of mine, we was chatting, and he was like, "Man, you remember that one thing you showed me how to do on how to start a coaching offer?" And I was like, "Yeah." He was like, "Man, that has turned into millions of dollars in revenue." And I was like, "How many exactly?" And he was like, "I can't tell you all that." But he was like, "It's been millions." So if you think about it, if we just do the math and we say, because we have a mixture of individuals who have made millions, we have a mixture of individuals who've made tens of millions, and then of course you got the individuals who make 500,000, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, and that number just compounds. So we got a page called the Wall of Proof. So if somebody goes to thewallofproof.com, it just like scrolls. If you go to it, it's just like bananas. It's like this ain't ever stop. So it's like we collect success stories. We also give away like big checks. Like if you ever went to like a network marketing event or some kind of like, we give away these huge checks at our events of like what clients have made from them working with us and them coming in. So we got people come up, and we had a 15-year-old. He had one of our last events, his check was like $2 million and some change. He's 15 years old, right? He makes a couple $100,000 a month, right? He started working with us. He was 12, right? He landed his first client when he was 3,000. But to be honest with you, it's pretty simple to get to $1 million with our model because we only allow our clients to charge $3,000 to $10,000 or more. Like we don't work with individuals who just want to sell something for $97. If somebody just has an ebook they want to sell, they don't want to they don't want to charge premium. That's not our thing. If they like, I got a membership site where I charge $30 to $7 a month. Can you help me scale that? Yeah, we can, but that's just not our thing. Unless you want to bolt on a higher ticket offer, right? So because we only do higher ticket offers, it's way easier to help somebody get to $1 million, which is way easier to help them get to accumulate $1 billion. And that's really just starting, right? Our goal is to help our clients. Our goal is to help 1 million Black coaches and experts add an extra $1 million to their annual revenue. That's actually 1 trillion to the Black community. The Black community, because of 1 million Black coaches and experts adding 1 million to the annual revenue, just 1 million. That's $1 trillion in revenue that's added back to the Black community. So we really just getting warmed up.
You're making me rub my hands together, man. Because I mean, you're talking real numbers, and most people, you're scared of those numbers, right?
For sure.
You said, hey, if you're not selling something between 3 and 10, we can't help you. Why did you specify that range from a product pricing standpoint?
Great question. So we got really good at helping individuals. We found that our sweet spot was helping people sell premium price offers. So it can be $3,000 to $10,000 to $15,000 to $25,000 to $50,000 to $100,000 or more, right? So We got really good at that process. So we just refined it. And I believe, because we also work with individuals who make money from their knowledge and expertise. So like coaches, consultants, authors, speakers, agencies. So if you make money from your knowledge and expertise, you deserve to be charged. You deserve to be compensated at least $3,000 to $10,000 or more based on that expertise, based on the transformation that you provide. Nobody should get access to that for $97 or $197. And to be honest with you, man, you're familiar with this space. If you look at a lot of these funnels that a lot of these gurus do, they'll sell you something. They'll do like the ascension ladder. So they're like, hey, sell something for $7, and then you upsell them for 97, and then you upsell them for 197, and then you upsell them for 297, and then 997, and then eventually you sell them something for 5,000 to 10,000 to 25,000. You and I both know, bro, the stuff where they really give the real value is typically in the 5,000, 10,000, 25,000, $50,000 programs, not in the courses. All those courses are just designed to get you into the high ticket offer. To me, where I'm from, that's out of integrity. So if you're going to sell somebody something just to sell them something else, I believe that's out of integrity, right? If you know that the thing that really gets people results is your $10,000 or $25,000 program, why not just lead with that versus wasting people's time going through all this BS that you knew really wasn't going to get them result? So what we decided to do is go completely against that model. And now we just lead with the thing that's going to really provide the real transformation. And you see a lot of the gurus who like taught that model before. Now they're saying things like, oh, we're changing the model up. You know, you got to flip the funnel. Now you got to lead with the high ticket offer. And it's cool. I'm not saying they're bad people. They make millions with it. I know people who make millions with it still to this day. But for me, I'm huge on transformation and not just transaction. And I'm huge on relationships, right? And I believe you sell people the thing that gets them results, not you just sell them your ebook just to get them to buy your coaching program, because you just wasted their time. And the chances of them reading your ebook is slim to none. So why not just lead with the thing? Where I'm from, I just come from a different world, bro. So I come from the streets, man. So I dropped out in 10th grade. I jumped out in the streets, and it's like, you can't sell somebody something that you know isn't what they wanted. That could get you killed. So I bring a lot of the philosophies, life philosophies, where I survived on the same morals from the streets into legitimate business, and it just served me really well.
This is getting crazy, ladies and gentlemen. We're about to get deep, right?
Let's go.
Because I think so few people actually get that. And what I found is, because I don't have a low ticket offer, I don't have one. And so when most people come to me, they're like, well, how can I see what's going on? I was like, go listen to the podcast or go listen to me get interviewed. But I know what you want. So, and not only do I know what you want, I know what you need. Yep. And so I have a lot of conversations with marketing people, strategists, business consultants, and they talk about the need to sell people what they want. And then if you're staying in integrity, give them what they need on the backside. How do you feel about that? Do you just tell them what they need from the beginning and stay there? Or is there the song and dance around the want?
So great question. So I'm like you. We don't have a low ticket offer either, right? So I believe in free or premium, right? So every people say, man, you got to do a course to like give them. I'm like, nah, what I would package in the course, I just give it away for free, right? So now I do believe from a marketing messaging standpoint, we got to speak to the want, because what people actually need isn't what they want, because because a lot of times they don't really know that what they need. So you got to speak to the want. So like, for example, if somebody has a knee pain, they may go to the hospital and be like, hey, I need some antibiotics or Percocet or something like that, right? And then after further digging, the doctor may realize like, hey, you actually need a knee replacement, right? But they came in for Percocets, right? And they realize, okay, you need surgery. So it's like, I think we got to speak to that, and then we can like, hey, yeah, we're going to help you get that, and here's what you need also. So for example, of course, we do a lot in the marketing space. So a lot of people come to us and they're like, well, I need to know how to figure out how to make my ads more profitable. And they think they have a targeting issue. A lot of times they're like, man, my targeting is off. I'm attracting the wrong people. And that's what so we have this thing that we call the paid ad playbook, how to get 50 to 100 leads every single day to convert into clients with Facebook ads, Instagram ads, whatever. So they're like, okay, cool, I want that. And they realize that, and we show them that, well, your ads aren't working because of your targeting. Your ads are not working because of your messaging. But most people aren't typing in Google, how do I fix my messaging for my marketing? They think is, well, how do I run better Facebook ads? Well, running a Facebook ad is typically just like clicking some buttons. You got to have all the other components that actually make the ads work, like your funnel, your messaging, your follow-up sequences, the copy. All these are components. Like I show people an iceberg example, and the tip of the iceberg is actually running ads. Everything under that makes up the iceberg that you don't see is what makes the ads work. Does that make sense? I hopefully I know it was a super long answer to your question.
No, it's not. Yeah. So it's funny because I say people come in and we're going to give them a prescription before they walk out after we do the diagnosis, right? And so here is what you need. You might have self-diagnosed on WebMD, but you're talking to somebody who's actually been through the process and actually knows how to get you healed. And then the question becomes, do you actually want to solve the root cause, or do you just want to do something superficial?
Bingo. And if you want to do superficial, we're not that.
We can't help you because you can't help you. It's just going to come right back.
Yep.
It's going to come right back if it goes away at all. And you probably are just going to make it worse.
Bingo.
And so they just move from one hack to the other. Yep. You're not a hack guy. You're about like true value. Where did that come from? Because everybody's looking for the quick buck.
Man, it's like I'm just a long-term guy, right? And I'm not so, and I use kind of a lot of crazy analogies that kind of throw people sometimes. So I'm a real big on music, right? I love like trap music. Like I used to do music, not rap, but I used to be like an artist manager. I used to do artist management, club promotion, and stuff like that. And I saw a shift in music, right? Because I grew up listening to like A-Ball, MJG, Pimp C, Bun B, Outkast, Tupac. The morals was a little bit different. And then I saw a shift in music, and it is this thing I started hearing about, like ran off on the plug, right? And I used to tell a lot of my homies, like, hey, that's gonna get y'all killed. You know what I'm saying? Like where I'm from, we value the plug. Like you was bringing it in, we can get it at a good number. We value the relationship. Not only am I going to give you your money, I'm gonna get it on time, I'm gonna get it early, and I'm like, we're gonna keep this thing going so we can continue to build. So I'm long term. Like I may even pay more now because I know after I develop the relationship and I show you I can make some things shake, I can get a better number eventually. So it's the same thing. It's like I'm a long term guy. I'm like, hey. People are like, why you give away so much free content? Well, I'm a long-term guy, right? Again, back to the streets. It's like, you give away some free samples first. And they're like, if the free stuff is this good, the paid stuff has to be amazing. I'm just a long-term guy. It's like, you don't have to become a client now. 2 years from now, 3 years from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, I'll still be here. We'll still be here.
Yeah.
We'll be here. It's just going to cost you more. We'll be here. More. Like it's like people be reaching out to me now. They're like, "Hey, man, when I was going to work with you 5 years ago, man, I was talking to your team. The price is totally different now. As it should be."
I'm a little bit better than I was when back then.
You know what I'm saying? As it should be. And 5 years from now, it's going to be more. So you probably want to lock in your spot now.
And how much?
So I'm just a long-term guy. Yeah,
how
for
much
sure.
Money did they miss waiting?
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing that always gets me, man. It's like they sit on the fence. I want the transformation. I want the change, but I'm gonna wait.
I'm gonna wait.
And pay
the dumb tax, right? That's called the dumb tax.
The dumb tax. Say more about that.
So it's multiple ways to pay the dumb tax. So waiting is a way to pay the dumb tax, right? Another way to pay the dumb tax is trying to do it on your own. Right. Mm-hmm. So there's anything that you want to accomplish in your life, somebody else has already done it. Now, everybody who's done it can't teach it, which is a whole other thing that we can dig into. However, there are people who have done it and can teach it. So if there are people who've done it and can teach it, why would you try to figure out on your own? Right. So this Marshall, what's my man name? Who talks about the 10,000 hour theory?
Oh, Malcolm Gladwell.
Malcolm Gladwell. He says it takes 10,000 hours to develop mastery. I'm not here to argue if that's true or not, whatever. What I am going to say is I'm a math guy, right? So 10,000 hours, if you have 40 hours a week to focus on just your craft, it would take you 5 years. Most people can't invest 40 hours a week into their craft, but let's just say they could. It'll take you 5 years. So I believe in hacking other individuals 10,000 hours. So you find somebody else who's developed that mastery and they've invested the 10,000 hours, and then you buy money at a discount. So if I can pay you 10,000, 25,000, 50,000 or whatever to learn what you've taken the last 5 or 10 years to learn, you've just saved me 10 years. So I've bought 10 years of my life back. I've bought 10,000 hours of my life back for 25,000 or whatever the case may be. Does that make sense?
It does. It does. And people think their time is free, right? I'm just going to go YouTube it.
Yeah, because they think time is money.
But it's the other way around.
It's the other way around. Money. I tell people all the time, money is infinitely more valuable than money. I mean, time is infinitely more valuable than money. I tell people all the time, like, if somebody tells me time is money, I immediately know they don't understand time or money.
You can't make more time, ever.
You can't make more time. We've all run out of money. Most of us have, but none of us have run out of time. Nobody listening to this podcast have run out of time.
All right. So there's so many places I want to go because the rabbit hole runs deep here. The person that comes to you is the person who's got an offer that most people would consider to be high ticket. Is it like a close-in program? Is it month to month? Like who is the person that you can help the fastest and grow their business the most?
So great question. So it depends, right? So we have two levels of our program, right? So we have our Client Traction University, we call it the partner program, because it's not like a coaching program. We like partner into your business, myself and our entire team, to help you grow it. Then we have our 7-Figure Society. Our 7-Figure Society is for those who are already making millions or they're right on the cusp of breaking through the $1 million mark and they're looking to scale. Typically, most individuals, their first step is our Client Traction University partner program, right? So that particular program, the best person for that is somebody who's clear on their expertise. They're already clear on their expertise. They may be already selling people their expertise, or they may just be clear on it and they're ready to package it up. And then from there, we bring in our secret sauce, right? Well, our system, I should say. I don't really believe success is a secret. It's just a system. So we bring in our system and we install the system into their business to help them get more clients, right? The people who we can help the fastest, though, to answer your question, is the people who are like coachable. And they don't come up like, hey, I've learned this from this program, or hey, I know about this, or hey, I'm this and hey, I'm that. It's like the people who show up like, hey, yeah, I know some stuff, but I got an empty glass and I'm ready to learn. I'm ready to follow your process step by step. Those are the people we help the fastest. So and those people who are like, we call it being done. We call it being done. What's next? Like, okay, that's done. What's next? Okay, that's done. What's next? Okay, that's done. What's next?
Just move them through.
That's it.
Okay. So you created this system that basically packages up the expertise and allows them to productize it so that they can monetize.
Yep.
With the partner program, when I hear the word partner, it's like, are you guys actually becoming owners in the deal, or is it just you're calling it partnership because you guys have that relationship and you're helping them grow?
That's a really good question, bro. So we call it a partner program because we have that level of commitment into the business. And I always tell individuals, we're partnering with you with that level of commitment. The only thing difference is we're not taking equity in the business. Now, on the back end, we do have a private equity firm where we do partnerships and take equity into businesses. But that's more, again, I'm a long-term guy. So that's more long-term. That's like after we've helped you fix your business, after we're helping you do X, Y, Z, then we can have a conversation of partnership if it makes sense. Or oftentimes we just keep it a client relationship.
Got it.
But that's the bigger play, private equity,
Yeah.
scale. And that's how you get to the billion, right? The billions with the private equity play.
A lot of people want to unlock their ultimate potential but lack the strategy, support, and stamina necessary to achieve their major goals. They often try to overcome these challenges by trying to do it on their own, causing frustration, fatigue, and eventually failure. We have developed a model for a center life, aka the red pill, to help them bolster their beliefs, gain clarity on their path to success, and provide accountability as they take action on their goals. When they take the red pill, they rapidly accelerate attainment of their goals and begin to experience a life of significance and impact. Want to find out more? Hop over to jeromemyers.co. Now, let's get back to the episode. Yeah, and I'm seeing more and more folks with the marketing because they can affect top line revenue more than anything else, right?
Yeah,
I know how to get more clients in the door, or I know how to get more. Yeah, we'll just call them clients. I think clients is the best way. Some people call them customers, but I don't feel like that really talks to the relationship that
I agree.
Coaches and consultants and experts actually should have with the folks that they're serving.
I agree.
So you got the two different programs, you move them in, imagine their fee different, and then the outcome on the backside of that is what? Like you're running YouTube ad, or you're running some type of ad to get more people in. I think you're installing like a salesperson to take the calls or help them make the transaction. They're delivering and fulfilling. And then I guess it runs back in. Kind of walk me through the process or the sequence of how like the system works.
For sure. So basically, first thing we do is we help flesh out the message. We get clear on the offer, right? So a lot of times people think the offer is like their product or their service. The offer is actually the transformation that you're promising, right? No difference than Domino's saying pizza in 30 minutes or less, or it's free. So that's an offer. So that's the offer. So it's like we're getting crystal clear on the offer based on the transformation you provide, coming up with the pricing, all the different types of stuff, right? A lot of times people say, what's the difference in a $3,000 offer and a $10,000 offer? Well, it's the 6 inches between your ears, right? If somebody pay you $3,000, they'll pay you $5,000. If they pay you $5,000, they'll pay you $7,000. They'll pay you $7,000, they'll pay you $10,000. So you might as well go and charge whatever you're going to charge, because nobody cares about your price. They only care about the transformation. So we help them flush all that out. Then we help them create the messaging that actually going to attract the clients that they want and then repel the clients that they don't want, right? So we help them flush out the messaging. And then we take that piece and then we build out what we call the elevator funnel, right? So a lot of times, and I talked about it earlier, people teach these ascension ladder funnels. So like the stair steps, so like free and then $7 and $97 and $297 and $497 and $997 and then $225 and all this type of stuff, right? So that's the stairs. But I always tell people, like, if you're at a hotel and you want to get to the 15th floor, you can go up the stairs, or you can do it, take the elevator. So we created this concept called the elevator funnel, which takes your clients from where they are to where you want to be quickly, just like an elevator. So we install that system in place, right? All the necessary pages, the follow-up email sequences, all that good stuff. And on the back end, we help you enroll, what we call the effortless enrollment process. Because we tell people, a lot of people are terrified of sales because they don't really understand what sales is. Like, they think that selling is convincing people to do something that they don't want to do. We teach enrollment, and enrollment is helping somebody make a decision that they already want to make, right? And you just helping them decide if this is the best decision for them. Many times it's not, right? Many times it's just like, hey, well, we actually aren't the best fit for you. Here's what I would advise. Now, that's totally counterintuitive to most people, because most people think this conversation is about making a sale. This conversation actually isn't about making a sale. This conversation is about figuring out if you are the best fit for this person, and if that person is the best fit for you, and them selling you on why you should allow them to buy. So we're helping them put what we call our effortless enrollment process in place as well. And then most importantly, we're showing them how do you serve these clients at a really high level. Because a lot of people talk about getting clients and making sales, but very few people talk about how do you create a world-class experience for these clients to actually get them results. And they not just be a number, you get their money and now they never hear from you again. But how do you create that experience so they actually get results? Now they become a part of your marketing team, because they're now they're telling everybody else about you. because most people don't understand that marketing, that fulfillment and delivery is actually a marketing function. They think that it's just an expense. So they'll take people money. I hear horror stories, bro. People pay people 10, 15,000, $25,000 and they can't even get a question answered. It's like, are you kidding me? So it's again, it's just that stuff triggers me because I'm like, dang, man, people get killed. Like whenever you take somebody take 25,000 on somebody, like you can't even get in touch with nobody. Like, dang. It's like that's crazy. So it's like we walk through that whole process and make sure that's all dialed in. And now once we get that dialed in, now they're ready for scale. Now we're ready. Now we talk a scale conversation. Team, operations, sales, turn this thing into an asset that you can sell if you want to, or creating a system so you can acquire other companies or whatever the case may be.
I love your conversation about sales. I had Myron Golden on the show, and he said something very similar, where it was like, it's good for you, it's good for me, it's good for everybody, right? Mm-hmm. And if it's not good for you, it's not good for me, and I'm not going to complicate my life in order to get you to do something that you don't absolutely want to do.
Bingo.
It just becomes frustration and headache.
For everybody.
Yep. Man, I remember a year ago, I bought into a system. They were like, yeah, man, we're going to get you the leads. We're going to get you a setter. And then all you got to do is fulfill. About $20,000 later, I'm looking, I'm like, you didn't even run the ads that we were supposed to run. Yep. And it just felt so greasy, right? Yep. But they came through a referral and I was like, okay, this should work. Yep. It didn't. Yep. And so what do you tell the person who's out there? Because I mean, that's the pain for a lot of folks, right? Most people in the education industry, they don't have $1 million lives. They don't have 6-figure lives. They might be making 30 to 50 grand a year. They don't want anybody to know it. And they're desperate to go to that next level, right? So they swipe that card on the Hail Mary, hoping that somebody comes in and saves the business. What should they be looking for? Like, how do they know that the person is somebody that can deliver the results, whether it's the company, but I mean, in the end, it's a person, right? They're betting that a person is going to do the thing for them.
That's a great question. So I think what I see in the industry is like, I think the actual client doesn't take enough responsibility. However, there is definitely no shortage on coaches and programs that don't fulfill, right? So I'm going to answer both sides. So number one, for the client perspective, I think a lot of people don't use common sense, right? So they'll see somebody driving an expensive car, got a nice home, at least from what they see online, got a lot of followers, got expensive clothes and watches and all this different type of stuff. And they'll be like, and they'll buy the program just because of that stuff.
Yeah.
And it's like just total, there's no, it's like, what? Okay, yeah, you got all this stuff, so I'm gonna buy it. It's like, what's that got to do with you buying the program?
Yeah.
The thing to look for, we talked about it earlier. The thing to look for is receipts. What do you mean receipts, Marquel? Look for how many success stories do they have that have done what they say they help people do. Because just because somebody is great at something doesn't mean they can teach it, right? So just because somebody built the $1 million business doesn't mean they can teach it. Like, being a great entrepreneur and being a great teacher is two different skills.
1,000%.
Being able to do both is a very rare set of skills. And there's very few people who can do both, who can like accomplish something and then unpack it so other people can do it. So that's why I'm clear that what I do is a gifting, because it's like, I sometimes take it for granted because it's like, it's easy to me. But as I sit back and zoom out and I see how it duplicates, it's like, man, it's very impressive to myself. It's like, dang, I've been able to take this and duplicate this system at the highest level. And I look around and a lot of people just buy it just into the hype, and they buy it into the hope of being able to duplicate somebody else's results. And I always tell people, hope is not a strategy. right? Do they have a system that you can follow? Like a big thing I see on the internet is a lot of people say, oh, here's a play, go run this play. You know, here's a play, go run this play. Hey, here's a play, go run this play. Hey, here's a play, go run. You probably been seeing this online too, right?
I've been
It's
hearing
like,
it recently. Recently, it's just a play, bro. It's a hack.
yeah, individual plays don't win games. Individual plays don't win championships. Like teams that win championships, they have a system for winning championships, right? They have a system they use for training, right? They have a system they use for getting ready for the game. They have a system for working out. They have a system where, like, when they get on the thing, they're not just haphazardly running plays. They're like, we're gonna run this play, and it's gonna lead to this play. This play gonna lead to this play. If this happens, then we're gonna run this play. If this happens, we're gonna run this play. Then we're gonna run this play. If we see this hole, then we're gonna, exploit that. They have a system. You don't build a business, especially a multi-million-dollar business, just play to play to play to play. It's a system that leads to this, and then you get predictable results. And just quite frankly, most people don't have that. So they buy into all of the hype. And a lot of times they buy into this program without using any common sense. And these people don't deliver. And it's their fault that they didn't deliver because they never should have sold it. They just know that people are buying into the hype or just the hope of doing this thing. And it's unfair to sell it. So like when I talk to clients and they're like, well, I'm not going to charge that much because I ain't been doing it that long. So since I'm newer, I'm going to charge less. And I'm like, well, if you're not good at it, you shouldn't be charging anybody anything. Right? If you're good at it, you should be charging a premium. But if you're not good, let them people keep their money. Don't take nobody money. Like, and they're like, should I do it for free? No, you should get good at it. And then you start teaching it. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, it's a shortage of people who actually have done this thing and now have created a system to help people, because people don't really understand. Like, you don't really start coaching until what you told them doesn't work. So like, if you got somebody and they like, hey, go do this. And then you come back and be like, hey, I did it, man. It ain't really work. This is what happened. And they like, oh, well, you just need to do it harder. And it's like, no, that's when the coaching begins. Now you help them analyze. Like when we first started, before we started, you was like, I've been analyzing data all day. That's what real business owners say. Like most of these people online don't even know what that means. Like, what do you mean you was analyzing data? They have no clue. That's the sign of a business owner. Most people like data. Like, what do you mean? Like how many followers I got? My Instagram insights? No. Right? I mean, that's a form of data, but it's meaningless if it doesn't tie to the bottom line. So it's like, most people don't really understand that it's a gifting. Like just because you can speak on stage doesn't mean you can teach everybody. You may have just gifted to be able to be a speaker. Maybe you grew up in the church, right? So you can speak and you can move an audience, but have you sat down and like analyze your system so you can teach the other individuals? Most of these individuals haven't. And I've been in some of these rooms and it's the craziest thing ever. People like, just run this play or just get in the room. All you need to do is get in the room and then there's value from being in the room. Man, that's BS. Like that's total BS. And I think these people are misleading people and they should be ashamed of themselves. And then they'll go to the internet and like flash all the stuff that they have and the lifestyle that they have from taking money from people who they haven't served. Like that like you have to like own up for that. You have to own up for that where I'm from. It's like you go online and hey, I got this and I got this and I got this and I got this. And it's like, but who's winning as a result of that? If ain't nobody winning, you losing. Like Jay-Z got this quote where he says, around here, we determine success by how many people winning that's close to you. Around here, we see you losing if everybody broke except for you.
Bro, when he started counting off the billionaires and God did.
Receipts.
Yeah.
Say whatever you want to say about him. He developed a system that other individuals are able to duplicate off of. Say what you want about him.
That's heavy.
Like he said on the Kevin Hart interview, he was like, if it took us to 45 to figure it out, Riri and everybody should be able to do it by 25, 35 because we figured out the system. All you got to do is follow the system. It's a formula.
This is crazy. So, I picked up on the integrity thing a couple of years back. And so I wanted to dive deep and just see like, was it just a fluke on the interview, or is that who he really is? And every interaction, you make it clear, like, because I don't think most people understand like street code, and like there are morals there. Like, even though the product does damage, there's a code.
It's a code.
And violation of the code is very different than ending up in court. You know what I mean? And so a lot of folks, they run around and they say, I got a bit more lawyers than you and I got more money than you, so we'll see who wins. And that doesn't work.
No, it doesn't.
Outside of corporate, right? But I mean, they're the real gangsters, man, because they'll look you right in the face and tell you they're going to screw you and then do it.
For sure. Yeah, 100%.
And it's why I had to get out of there, man. So, man, I want to talk about offers. I want to talk about all kinds of stuff, but I know we don't have time to do all that, man. The one question I end the interviews with, and I think you're going to give them something crazy when I'll ask you this question, is, what's the one thing you want the listeners to take away from this episode?
So I want the listeners to take away that we literally live in the best time in the history of the world to be alive. Like I know people are saying this, oh man, it's a recession coming. Like, people like fearmonger, because if they can get you in fear, they can control you. Like, most people who are like most people who are saying like it's a recession, it's like they're gonna follow up with an offer after that. Oh, it's gonna be a recession, so here's why you should buy this. Right? It's BS, right? So I understand we live in the best time in the history of the world to be alive, right? So how do you know, Marquel? Well, people will try to convince us that there's a shortage of money. And that's when I always tell people, like, you got the emotional side of your brain and you got your logical side of your brain. Your logical side of the brain is going to be analyzing the data. So the emotional side of your brain is going to be like, oh, well, nobody's buying right now, or nothing is working. And it's just, you say everything in absolutes, right? Your other side of your brain, you're going to make you look at the data. Well, one of my clients may say, well, everybody I'm speaking to, absolutes, are saying they don't got the money. How many people have you spoken to? Now they got to go to the other side of the brain.
3.
5. 3. So, like, okay, that's not everybody, right?
Not even close.
All right. Right. Well, nobody's booking a call. Okay, how many leads have you generated? 10. Okay, we don't have enough data just yet, right? So, all right, cool. So now we go into right now. At one point, the American dollar, the dollar used to be on the US dollar, used to be on a gold standard. So for every dollar, it used to be a piece of gold that backed it. Then they took it off the gold standard. So right now, they can literally print as much money as they want to print, right? So it's literally more money in circulation right now than any time in the history of the world. Some people may be like, well, it's less valuable now. Well, that's cool, but it's more of it. Right? And it's circulating. So the money is already printed. So it's more money in circulation. They just printed out like 3 trillion, I think, a couple months ago, right? Or a year ago. And they just like gave it away. They're like, hey, we're going to send you a $1,300 check. We're going to send everybody who makes less than, I think, $100,000 a year. We're going to send you a $1,300 check. It's like, that's almost everybody, right? So they just sent everybody a check. It's like, where all this money come from? Well, they printed it, right? We're here and we get to take advantage of it. And we get to take advantage of, you hip to Robert F. Smith?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you are. So for those who don't know, Robert F. Smith is the wealthiest black man in American history, right? So he owns a company called Vista, private equity, the whole nine. So I was watching an interview with him the other day, and he was like, or today earlier, and he was like, right now we're in the 4th industrial revolution. And basically what he called the 4th industrial revolution is all industries are becoming digitized via the internet, right? Never in a million years could me and my guy Jerome, what city you in, bro?
Greensboro, North Carolina.
Greensboro, North Carolina. I'm in Atlanta. Like, we're streaming video right now in real time. That is crazy. Like, and it wouldn't make no difference if he was in the Philippines connected to a Wi-Fi. We'll be still streaming in real time. A Zoom account costs what? $30 a month, $100 a month.
Yeah.
You can build a multi-million-dollar business.
Yeah.
Not even that, right? So it's like, You can literally take your knowledge and expertise. I don't care if it's like showing people how to make money, showing people how to lose weight, showing people how to meditate, showing people how to, do their makeup. It doesn't matter, right? Show people how to become better parents. Show people how to increase their sex life. Whatever it is, you can package that up, and people all around the world will pay you. You can get in front of them within minutes. Like, I'm a nerd. I'm a advertising and direct response marketing nerd. So I collect direct mail, right? I study like marketing from like the 1800s, direct mail pieces, all the different type of stuff, right? And back in the day, to do marketing, they would have to write a sales letter on like a typewriter, right? Print it out, design it or whatever, take it to USPS, get a whole bunch of stamps, buy a list, right? And then mail it all to all these people. And they wanted like a 2% response. Now, what's the response, Marquel? Well, the people who got it, they would have to open this mail from a total stranger, first of all. So it had to be good. Then they opened it. Then they have to read the whole letter. And then when they got to the end of the letter, they had to cut off like a corner of the letter, fill out their information on it, get their money, and then go to the post office and then mail it back. This had to be a great sales letter, right? So this had to be great marketing. So that's why I like studying that type of stuff. Now they had to get back to the person. They got it. Then they had to fulfill on the thing. Now, and that's why I don't believe in like this whole funnel. This will take me off a whole rabbit hole. That's why I don't believe in like funnels and the way the internet calls it a funnel. Because when people open their mailbox, you was already in their funnel. You didn't have to go to their website to get into a funnel. But that might be a whole other podcast episode, right? That might be part 2. But anyway, nowadays we don't got to do none of that. Like, we can write an ad, put up a landing page, go and launch a Facebook ad, and like in the next 24 hours or less, we got ads live. And in about 72 hours, we know if we working with something. And we ain't spent that much. We spent $300, right? And that could lead to clients that's paying you $3,000 to $10,000 or more. Like, never in a million years. Like, Madam C.J. Walker built the $1 million business. They had to go door to door, right? A.G. Gaston, like segregation, like our ancestors like built massive empires, and they didn't have any of the access, any of the resources. Man, if Madam C.J. Walker had Zoom or YouTube, like, they had none of that, right?
Yeah.
But we got all that, and I think because of the abundance of the resources, we take them for granted. And then we don't take advantage of them. But if I was to say anything, to summarize all that, is we live in the best time in the history of the world to be alive. Take advantage of it.
Marquel, you're a dream catcher, my brother. How can the listeners get more? Because I'm sure there's so much more they can get from you. He said he gives the best stuff away for free, bro.
Yeah, for sure. I would say tap in whatever your favorite social media platform is. I know we're super active on Instagram. Just Marquel Russell everywhere. MarQuel Russell. So Instagram, Facebook, Marquel Russell. TikTok, Marquel Russell. We get our YouTube channel back up right now, so that'll be Marquel Russell. Also, we got an event. It's called Wealthy Black Coach. So if you go to wealthyblackcoach.com, join us for the event. And I'm gonna show you how to get 5 clients every single week. That pay you $3,000, $10,000 more. How to attract and enroll clients that pay you $3,000, $10,000 or more. 5 clients every single week. So I'm gonna show you exactly how to do that, and you're gonna walk away with your own blueprint of how to do it. And if you go register right now, I'm actually gonna cover your ticket. So all you gotta do is actually go RSVP. So just go to wealthyblackcoach.com and grab your spot.
Beautiful, beautiful, ladies and gentlemen. Go take action on it, man. It's gonna make a difference. It's gonna help you guys move to that next level. To the listeners, your dreams should be real. We'll talk to you guys on the next episode.
Thank you for joining the tribe today. We would love to hear from you. Please don't forget to rate, like, and share. Perhaps someone you know could benefit from what we've discussed. Until the next time, remember that your dreams should be real.